Dr. Stuart Phillips, a renowned professor of kinesiology at McMaster University, director of the Physical Activity Center of Excellence for Older Adults, and one of the world's leading researchers on sarcopenia and neuromuscular health in aging, believes that the best way to prevent frailty in later life isn't just through physical therapy or resistance training. According to the Canadian scientist, many symptoms like tingling hands, wobbly knees, and weak legs often originate from specific nutritional gaps, particularly in vitamins that protect nerves and support muscle strength. In people over 60, leg strength doesn't just fade, it disconnects. Dr. Phillips explains, you lose power not because the muscles vanish overnight, but because the signals between nerves and muscle fibers become slower, weaker, and less coordinated. He emphasizes that certain vitamins and cofactors play an essential role in keeping that communication clear. They regulate how well your nerves conduct signals, how muscles contract and relax, and even how cells produce energy during balance or walking. And when those nutrients fall short even slightly, the whole system becomes unstable. Dr. Phillips points to 5 key nutrients that, when taken together in the right combination, can significantly improve strength, stability, and sensation, especially in aging legs and hands. These nutrients aren't experimental or hard to find. They've been studied in hundreds of clinical trials and are found in foods, supplements, or routines that most seniors already use, just not always in the right form or balance. If you want to stay on your feet, don't wait until you fall, he adds. Start by feeding the connection between your brain, nerves, and muscles before they go quiet. The missing spark that brings hands and legs back to life. Vitamin B12 isn't just another line on your multivitamin label. It's the spark plug of your nervous system, the quiet current that helps every message travel from brain to hand, from spine to foot. Without it, wires fray, signals slow, and muscles no longer know what to do with themselves. In younger bodies, B12 is absorbed effortlessly from food. But as we age, that process becomes less reliable. The stomach produces less acid, and a special protein called intrinsic factor, needed to absorb B12, begins to decline. The result, even people who eat well can slowly run low, often without knowing. And when that happens, the symptoms don't appear loudly. They appear subtly: tingling in the fingertips, numbness in the toes, balance that feels just slightly off. Vitamin B12 is crucial for maintaining the insulation around nerves, known as the myelin sheath. When that sheath thins or becomes damaged, nerve impulses begin to leak or misfire like electrical wires exposed to the rain. You may feel this as pins and needles, or a slight burning, or a leg that doesn't quite respond as quickly as it used to when you get up from a chair. The hands and feet are the first to whisper this warning because they are the farthest from the brain, the longest paths for signals to travel. And in a low B12 environment, it's the distant outposts that suffer first. But the body is forgiving. When B12 returns, the nervous system often responds. The spark returns. The wires begin to reconnect. Sensation improves. Strength follows. And confidence in one step, once lost, begins to quietly rebuild. There's another layer to B12's story. It also plays a central role in making red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout the body. When B12 is low, oxygen delivery becomes less efficient, especially to muscles during movement or balance. What starts as mild fatigue in the legs may actually be a quiet lack of oxygen, a body trying to work with too little fuel. In seniors, these overlapping effects: nerve slowdown, oxygen reduction, muscle fatigue can mimic aging, but often it's not age. It's a correctable shortage. So how can you know if B12 is the issue? There are blood tests, yes, but your body often tells you first. Numbness, weak grip, a leg that feels heavy, a foot that drags slightly, or a feeling of walking on foam. These aren't signs of getting old. They're signs of a circuit that's losing power. The good news is, B12 is easy to restore if given in the right form. Some people benefit from food sources like eggs, sardines, tuna, beef liver, and dairy. But for many older adults, sublingual B12 tablets, sprays, or injections are more effective. These forms bypass the stomach and deliver B12 directly into the bloodstream, where it's needed most. The best time to take B12 morning. It supports energy, focus, and nerve function throughout the day. Taking it late at night may interfere with rest for some people, as it can gently raise alertness. Be consistent. Pair it with a light breakfast for better absorption, and avoid taking it too close to bedtime. There's no need for megadoses unless prescribed, but consistent, daily B12 in the right form can help keep your feet planted, your hands steady, and your signals clear. And perhaps most important of all, it can restore trust between your brain and your body. The trust that when you want to move, you will. That when you reach for balance, it's there. And that when you walk with strength, not guesswork. Now that the nerves are awake, the next step is calming the overactive signals that exhaust your muscles too soon. The calming mineral that helps legs hold you steady. If vitamin B12 is the spark, magnesium is the rhythm. It's the mineral that keeps your muscles calm, your nerves steady, and your legs from suddenly buckling beneath you. While not flashy, magnesium is present in nearly every cell in the body, quietly coordinating electrical signals, smoothing muscle contractions, and allowing the brain and body to move in sync. For older adults, magnesium often becomes a missing piece, not because it disappears overnight, but because modern diets heavy in processed foods and light on leafy greens, nuts, and legumes tend to drift further from magnesium-rich sources. Add medications like diuretics or acid blockers common in seniors, and the body slowly runs low. And when it does, the first signs don't show up in lab tests. They show up in the legs. Twitching calves, night cramps, restless feet, a deep ache that won't go away, a foot that jerks as you're falling asleep. These aren't always signs of weakness. They're signs of a mineral conductor missing from the orchestra. Without magnesium, nerves fire too easily or too erratically. Muscles tighten but don't fully release. And over time, this quiet stiffness becomes tension, and tension becomes fatigue. Magnesium also plays a key role in keeping calcium in check. If calcium tells muscles to contract, magnesium tells them when to relax. The balance is delicate, like an inhale and an exhale. Without enough magnesium, it's all tension, no release. That's why one of the most reliable remedies for nighttime leg cramps is simply more magnesium. But the story doesn't end there. Magnesium helps stabilize the autonomic nervous system, the part of your body that controls balance, circulation, and reflexes without thinking. When this system is supported, legs feel more planted, hands stop trembling, and the body doesn't overreact to every shift in movement. Instead of feeling wobbly, you feel grounded. So how much do you need? Most adults over 60 benefit from 320, 420 milliliters of magnesium per day, depending on diet and medications. It's best absorbed when taken with food. There are many forms: magnesium citrate, glycinate, oxide, malate, but for calming nerves and easing the muscles. Magnesium glycinate is often preferred. It's gentle on digestion and better absorbed. If supplements aren't your thing, there's good news. Magnesium lives in real food. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, cashews, avocado, and even dark chocolate are rich sources. You don't need exotic products, just real, magnesium-rich ingredients in daily meals. The best time to take magnesium. For muscle support and restful sleep, evening is ideal. Think of it as winding the body down. Magnesium won't knock you out, but it gently lowers the volume on nerve activity, making it easier to rest, and less likely that your calves will seize up at 2 a.m. And while magnesium may not be marketed as a miracle nutrient, its absence speaks volumes. Weak legs, shaky hands, sudden cramps, or a body that startles easily. These often point back to a system running too loud, without enough of the mineral that smooths the noise. Reintroducing magnesium is like tuning the background music of the body. It doesn't change the melody, but it helps every instrument play in time. Movements become smoother, sleep comes easier, and the legs so often taken for granted feel lighter, steadier, more dependable. So, whether through a sprinkle of seeds on your salad, a square of dark chocolate after dinner, or a quiet capsule before bed, magnesium is one of the simplest ways to bring back steadiness to your step. With muscles more relaxed, we turn to the vitamin that helps you balance better and step with quiet certainty. The daylight vitamin that helps your legs stand stronger. Vitamin D3 is often called the sunshine vitamin, but for your legs and balance, it might as well be called the stability vitamin. It doesn't just help bones absorb calcium. It helps your muscles hold you upright, your nerves fire on time, and your body stay aware of where it is in space. In younger years, just a few minutes outside might have been enough. But with age, skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. And if you're spending more time indoors, as most seniors do, your levels can quietly drop. The signs don't shout, they whisper. You might notice it in how your knees feel on stairs, how you hesitate before stepping off a curb, or how your legs feel more tired than they should after simple chores. Vitamin D3 supports something called neuromuscular coordination, not in textbook terms, but in real life. It helps muscles listen to nerves. Without it, the signal from brain to leg gets fuzzier, like a phone call with static. Movement slow, reaction time stretches, the risk of missteps rises. It also helps regulate calcium not just for bones, but for muscle contraction and nerve communication. When vitamin D is low, calcium gets confused. Muscles may not tighten or release properly. Joints can feel stiff, and reflexes start to dull. You're still strong, but your body's timing is off, like music played on a slightly detuned piano. Vitamin D3 also has a quieter role. It helps reduce inflammation. When joints ache for no clear reason, or when your legs feel heavy for no visible cause, low-grade inflammation is often in the background. And D3, like a steady hand on the dimmer switch, helps turn that heat down. So where do you get it? Sunlight is still the best source, but for many older adults, that's not realistic year-round. That's where food and supplements come in. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified foods like milk and cereals can help. But for most people over 60, especially those with limited sun exposure, a supplement is often necessary. The recommended daily amount is 800 to 2000 IU, though some may need more if levels are very low. It's best absorbed with a meal that includes some healthy fat, think olive oil, avocado, or a bit of nut butter. And the best time to take it is in the morning or early afternoon, aligning with your body's natural rhythm. Taking D3 too late in the day may interfere with sleep for some people, as it can gently boost alertness. What's important is consistency. Vitamin D builds over time. You won't feel a dramatic change in one day, but after a few weeks, many people notice less stiffness, steadier footing, and clearer energy through their legs. It's not about becoming younger. It's about helping your body remember the strength it still has. And perhaps the most powerful part, D3 doesn't work alone. It supports magnesium, works alongside B vitamins, and helps calcium do its job without causing confusion. It's like a conductor, not the loudest, but the one who keeps the orchestra in sync. So, if your legs have felt unreliable, your knees a little soft, your balance slightly off, don't only look at your muscles. Look at your sunlight. Look at your plate. Look at your daily habits. And if needed, add just one small thing, a quiet vitamin that brings back light, not just to your bones, but to your balance. As the body realigns its footing, let's restore the spark between energy, movement, and mind-to-muscle response. The signal booster that keeps hands and legs awake. Imagine your nervous system as a vast railway network. Your brain sends the train. Your limbs receive it. But in between, every signal, every reaction, every small motion depends on a power line called vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. When thiamine runs low, it's like the rails start rusting. The train still leaves the station, but it slows down halfway, misses stops, or gets delayed. You may notice at first in your hands numbness, tingling, or a strange heaviness when trying to grip something small. Then, in your legs, wobbliness, subtle foot drop, or a delay between your intention to move and the movement actually happening. Thiamine is essential because it fuels the nerve-muscle connection. It's like the oil that keeps the gears turning between brain signals and muscle response. Without it, the system stutters. The hands don't feel, the legs don't lift right, and energy seems to drain faster than usual. Why is this more common in older adults? Age, medication, and diet all play a role. Thiamine is water-soluble and not stored long in the body. Diuretics, which many seniors take, increase its loss. Alcohol, even in moderate amounts, reduces its absorption. And processed foods common in modern diets don't supply much thiamine to begin with. Over time, the deficit grows. Thiamine is especially important for how your body turns carbohydrates into usable energy. When levels are low, sugar builds up in the blood, but cells don't get the fuel. It's like having a car full of gasoline, but no spark to start the engine. The result? Fatigue, mental fog, and legs that tire far too quickly after even small efforts. You might feel it as a strange stiffness in the morning, or a weakness after walking just a few minutes. Some describe it as if their body is working underwater slow, heavy, disconnected. But thiamine is generous. Even small doses, taken regularly, can begin to restore the spark. Many people report improved coordination, more stable gait, and clearer sensation in fingers and toes within weeks of correcting a deficiency. So where do we find it? Whole grains, legumes, pork, sunflower seeds, and green peas are excellent sources of thiamine. But for many older adults, especially those with absorption issues or chronic health conditions, a low-dose supplement of 50–100 mg per day can help stabilize levels. It's a small amount, but in the right body, it can turn the lights back on. The best time to take thiamine is with breakfast. It works alongside food to convert energy efficiently and helps jumpstart the body's coordination systems early in the day, like turning on the power grid before the city wakes up. Importantly, thiamine doesn't work alone. It supports B12 and magnesium, and in return, is supported by them. When taken as part of a balanced routine, it helps build not just strength, but clarity in movement. You feel more in your body. Reactions become faster. Each step feels more connected to intention. And perhaps most importantly, thiamine helps keep the hands and legs awake, not just in terms of sensation, but in function. A firm grip, a confident stride, the ability to carry groceries or walk across uneven ground without hesitation. So, if your fingers have lost some feeling, if your legs feel slow to respond, or if you're moving through the day like you're pushing against water, it may not be age. It may be a missing vitamin that once ran quietly beneath the surface. Give it back, and the system often remembers what it was meant to do. Once the spark is lit, we now need a clear translator to make sure brain and body truly hear each other. The quiet communicator that keeps hands and legs in sync. Vitamin B6 doesn't make headlines. You won't hear about it in loud commercials or see it glowing on supplement bottles. But when it's missing, the signals between your brain and body begin to blur. What was once a smooth connection grabbing a glass, walking across the room starts to feel slightly off. B6 is your nervous system's translator. It helps messages move from nerve to nerve, from brain to limb, with accuracy and calm. Without enough B6, those messages either don't arrive late, or come in too loud. You might feel that as numbness, tingling, burning, or an odd sense of fuzziness in the hands or feet. But B6 doesn't work only on nerves. It also helps regulate mood, energy, sleep, and inflammation, all of which affect how your legs function, especially after 60. Think of it like a backstage coordinator in your body's control room, keeping communication lines open and background noise low. When B6 is present, your body feels more together. When it's missing, things begin to unravel quietly. One of its most important roles is in nerve insulation, helping to maintain the protective coating around nerves so signals don't leak or misfire. Without that insulation, nerve messages don't land where they're supposed to. Your leg might take a second too long to lift, your foot might drag unexpectedly, or you might hesitate, unsure of where your body is in space. B6 also helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin, two chemicals that regulate sleep and mood. Poor sleep, after all, affects balance and strength. When you're not resting well, your legs feel heavier, slower, more unstable. Sometimes, it's not the muscles that are tired, it's the system they rely on that's worn down. So where does B6 come from? You'll find it in bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, poultry, especially chicken and turkey, fortified cereals, and tuna. These are everyday foods, not hard to find, but often underrepresented in diets that lean on processed or repetitive meals. And B6 is water-soluble. It doesn't stick around. That means even if you got enough yesterday, it might not be there today. For seniors, especially those with absorption issues or on medications like blood pressure drugs or diabetes meds, a gentle supplement can help. 2 to 10 milligrams per day is usually enough for maintenance. Some people need more under a doctor's care, but the goal is always balance, not overload. The best time to take B6, with a meal preferably breakfast or lunch. It helps the body wake up, improves nerve efficiency through the day, and pairs well with other B vitamins and magnesium. Evening is fine too, especially if sleep quality is a concern, since it aids in melatonin production. One powerful note: B6 is especially helpful when combined with B12 and folate. Together, they support the methylation cycle, a quiet process that affects energy, focus, and nerve repair. You won't feel it working. But one morning, your legs feel lighter. The stairs seem less steep. Your fingers type faster. These are B6 footprints. And for those dealing with diabetic nerve issues, balance problems, or tingling in extremities, B6 often plays a quiet but crucial role in healing. Not dramatic, not instant, but consistent. In the end, vitamin B6 is like a skilled interpreter standing between two people who don't speak the same language. It ensures the brain and body don't just talk, but truly understand each other. So, if you've been feeling off-center, slightly delayed, or disconnected from your own movements, the issue may not be strength, it may be clarity. And sometimes, clarity comes in the form of a simple, overlooked vitamin, just waiting to reconnect the lines. You've just walked through 5 of the most overlooked, yet essential vitamins for senior strength: B12, magnesium, D3, B1, and B6. Each one doesn't work in isolation. They act like members of a quiet orchestra, different instruments, but all playing to support one thing: your ability to stand, walk, and move with confidence. For years, many people have blamed weakness in their legs or tingling in their hands on just getting old. But aging alone isn't the enemy. What truly wears down strength over time is nutritional debt subtle, slow-burning deficiencies that chip away at how muscles, nerves, and circulation work together. The good news: these deficits are fixable. What we've covered isn't medical theory, it's daily reality for thousands of older adults. And fixing it doesn't require a radical overhaul. Just start by checking your morning plate, your daily habits, your quiet symptoms. Are your legs tiring faster than they used to? Are your hands slow to respond? These are not signs to ignore. They're small taps on the shoulder from your nervous system, asking for support. If you take one thing away, let it be: this nutrition is not just about fuel. It's about flow, about restoring clear communication between brain and body. The right vitamins help reduce background noise, sharpen signal strength, and allow the body to move in sync with intention. And when that connection returns, it's not just your step that changes, it's your confidence, your posture, your sense of being grounded in your own body again. Remember, you don't need to fix everything at once. Start small. Add one food, replace one habit, or speak to your doctor about a supplement that's right for your needs. With time and consistency, these tiny shifts add up, and often, they change more than just your legs. Your body is not broken. It's waiting to be nourished, reconnected, and reminded of what it's still capable of. And if you give it the right tools, one quiet vitamin at a time, it will often do the rest. Let your healing start not in a pill bottle or prescription pad, but at your breakfast table. That's where strength begins. That's where it returns.